Ilia Topuria will take on Charles Oliveira at UFC 317. This is the main event, just announced a bit ago. So are fans happy with this fight announcement? Was there another fight that people wanted to see? Or is this a good second or third place in terms of fights we can get right now? We're going to talk about these topics and give you the prediction for Topuria versus Oliveira on International Fight Week at UFC 317. Stay tuned.
Broadcasting live from an undisclosed location. This is the TCMMA podcast with your host, Chris Cross.
Whoa!
Dana White privilege.
Let's go, baby! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go, baby!
Dana White privilege. Privilege.
Welcome to the TCMMA podcast. I'm your host, Chris Cross. And just a little while ago, it was announced that Ilia Topuria is going to fight Charles "Do Bronx" Oliveira at UFC 317. And this is big news. I mean, this is big news. And I know some of you are thinking, what about Aspinall versus John Jones? And what about Hamza versus Strikers? I'm with you on Hamza versus Strikers. I'm with you on both of them. Okay. But if we're not going to get those two fights, at least give us the next best fight, the third place fight, we'll call it right now. And that's Topuria versus Oliveira because it's the lightweight division, right? This is the best division in the UFC. So if we're not getting heavyweight, we're not getting middleweight, give us the lightweight division. And man, I mean, this is much better for Ilia Topuria, right, than fighting Islam. I mean, if you're trying to get 3 belts, if you're trying to be the first person in the UFC to ever do it, this is a good second phase, right? It's going to be a little tougher against Islam. But if he can get this belt and Islam gets the welterweight potentially, which that division is you want to talk about big fights, and I think Islam knows that. If he goes in there and beats JDM, forget about it. There's major fights to be made after that, right? I mean, Islam versus Shavkat, Islam versus Ian Machado Gary, Islam versus whoever else we're not thinking of. So there's some big fights there for Islam. But Topuria would definitely go fight Islam if he can defend the belt a few times at lightweight. If he can beat Oliveira and he can defend it, now you're on a path to that third title against Islam. And man, I mean, when we come out of this, you could potentially have Topuria, Islam, and Hamza as champions. But we're getting way ahead of ourselves, right? Because the fact is, Do Bronx may come in here and dominate Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria is 16-0 though, but that's beating guys at featherweight. Can he move up against the best of the best, right? Oliveira, Arman Sarukian, who beat Oliveira, all these guys. Can you come in there in the lightweight division, best of the best, and beat him? If he does, then he's looking upward to Islam. So there's a lot of things that can happen here, and we're going to discuss all those. But first, let's get into this prediction. Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira for the vacated lightweight belt, vacated by Islam Makhachev. And I'm telling you right now, this is a very, very tough prediction. Let's get to it. In the lightweight division, your main event, International Fight Week at UFC 317. You got Ilia Topuria taking on Do Bronx, aka Charles Oliveira. This is for the vacant lightweight title. And yes, if you didn't know, Islam vacated the belt to move up to welterweight. So let's do it. Topuria from Georgia, 16-0. Oliveira, 35-10. Don't let the record fool you. From Brazil. Oliveira, 3 inches taller at 5'10". He's 35. Topuria, 28. Oliveira, 5-inch reach advantage. Both guys stand right-handed. Topuria, 4.7 significant strikes per minute. Oliveira, 3.4. On the ground, Oliveira has a slight edge, but basically both guys get 2 takedowns every 3 rounds. So it's going to be very competitive in all categories. And you would expect Topuria to be fast. You'd expect Oliveira to have power. Excuse me. And when guys come up, it's always interesting to see how that's going to play out. Now, Topuria vacated the featherweight belt, right? He was the champ. He's got a 92% takedown defense, coming off the win over Max Holloway by third round KO. Volkanovski, second round KO. Josh Emmett, decision. Bryce Mitchell, submission. So the guy's just dominating everyone in his way. But this is the lightweight division, right? One of the divisions we all regard as one of the best in the UFC. So can you just walk in and win the belt? That's the question. Oliveira, on the other hand, 56% takedown defense. I don't like that. Coming off the win over Michael Chandler by decision. Okay, and he did it. It was pretty much even in significant strikes, but he did it with 5 takedowns. Lost to Arman Sarukian, split decision. Did not look good there. So imagine he wins his fight. You got to go up against Arman again. Not good. Not good. Before that, he beat Beneil Dariush by first round KO, and really the last three don't matter. The Arman Sarukian fight does give us some good insight, but he lost to Islam for the belt by submission. He beat Gaethje, and how many did he win? Like 11 fights in a row after starting out 11-8 in the career. So the guy was on a roll, but the tricky thing here is Oliveira is 35, not old, right? But he's 35. Topuria is 28. So Topuria is the up and comer. Obviously won the featherweight belt. Now coming to lightweight. People expecting big things. Oliveira was basically the champ if it wasn't for Islam. Now, I mean, Arman Sarukian would be the champ right now. So there's two guys that can beat him. Where does Topuria fit into that? And this is a very difficult prediction for me because I'm seeing Brazil on the name or the country for Oliveira. You know how I feel about the Brazilians, but Topuria has just been a bad dude, and he hasn't lost yet. You know, I love to see Oliveira win, and it's one of those fights where I might be rooting for Oliveira. I mean, I will be rooting for Oliveira, but I believe Topuria is going to win. So we've had a couple of these situations this year, and I'm not going to turn from the way we've gone throughout the year. I think Ilia Topuria is going to win the belt um, and move to 17-0, and he's probably going to do it with the striking. But man, if Oliveira hits you, it's a wrap. And we've seen Oliveira be very close to being finished, and he finds a way to continue going, especially against strikers. So it's going to be interesting. But I like Topuria to get the win. I have no idea how it's going to play out for him to do so. So that's a big question mark. We're going to find out because it's the best division in the UFC. It's a lightweight division at UFC 317. I mean, that was a tough prediction, but we got to go with Ilia Topuria, right? I mean, the guy's undefeated. Um, there's no reason not to go with him. He's young. He's 25. He gets two belts at this age, 28. Forget about it. Forget about it. That's big time, which means we're taking a big chance on him doing it, especially on somewhat short notice. He's already getting ready for the move up in weight. He's already got to be putting on weight. It's not like he's sitting around doing nothing. It's a little easier to put on weight, but it's not as easy to put on that 10 pounds of muscle to where you're cutting back down to 155. So saying, hey, you're fighting in a month and a half. Not great notice, but it's enough time. Topuria will be fine. And I think he's going to win. I mean, I think he's going to win. But it's definitely going to be a tough fight. Now, if we pop up the dude list real quick, and this thing is all over the place right now, we really got to get in here and then solidify. The top 10 is solidified. It's 11 through 20. But you see at number 6 there, Ilia Topuria, right? And not always are guys on this list because there's, hundreds of fighters. But we're looking at the top 20 here. Ilia Topuria at 6. You go to page 2 here, 11 through 20, all the way down at 20, Oliveira. Why is he still there? Because he lost to Islam, who, if we go back, is number 3 on the dude list. But then he lost to Arman Sarukian. And maybe if he fights Arman again, he can win that fight, especially if he can win this and be the champ. So it's not like Oliveira's done, but this is why he's at 20 is he was way up there and then lost to Islam. But he still won 2 of the last 3, just lost to Arman. That could be a better fight if it's for the title. There's a lot more at stake. I think that fight goes in a different way. But Oliveira has some things to work on. And this time, it's going to be some heavy striking back and forth. And both guys are capable of finishing each other. I mean, that's the ultimate reward in this fight. And why the lightweight division is always so great because There's so much technique. Both of these guys could finish each other at any given time from any given position. I mean, it's phenomenal. Okay. So again, a likely outcome to all this could be Topuria, Islam, Hamza from lightweight to middleweight, and that would be wild. Wild. Okay. Especially if Topuria and Islam both win. Now you got two guys still, I mean, Topuria definitely, Islam still in the prime, two titles. So there's probably going to be an opportunity for both of them, maybe at some point to go for the third. I mean, my goodness. So there's going to be a lot on the line the next few months with uh, Islam versus JDM and Topuria versus Oliveira. Just all types of storylines. We know we got Dreykus and Hamza coming. We know we got John Jones and Aspinall. That they're going to wait for that fight till the fall, right? Uh, Listen, when you got college football on a Saturday and NFL on a Sunday, you got to have a big fight for people to be tuning in, and there's no bigger than John Jones versus Tom Aspinall. So that fight is coming. They're just saving it for the right time. Okay, that's all they're doing is they're just saving that fight for the exact right time. But that fight is coming. All the fights are coming. The UFC is behind the scenes. They got plans for all this stuff. They're sitting here looking at this like last week. If Bilal wins, we're going to go this way. You know, Islam versus who in the lightweight for the title. If Bilal doesn't win and JDM wins, then we're going this way with Topuria and Oliveira. The UFC's already got, and they already know when Hamza and Dreykus are going to fight roughly. They're getting that figured out behind the scenes. John Jones and Tom Aspinall will fight. We all know John Jones is going to wait and wait and wait, right? We can't start throwing this on other fighters. But it ends up working for John Jones. He puts these guys on the back burner for 18 months, 2 years before the fight. It's like they gotta wait and wait, and then it's like, oh, this is big moment. I cannot ruin this big moment, and then boom, it's over. They lose to John Jones, and the fight's done. And the waiting game is part of the tactics. Okay, it's part of the tactic for John. It has to be. He can't say it's because of this or because of that, because it happens in every fight. He's the only common thing. He's the only, everybody. He's the only common one. All his opponents are waiting forever to fight. It's on him at this point. We've seen John Jones for years. We understand the game. We know what's going on, and I'm not even. I'm sure I've complained about it at some point, but I'm not complaining about it right now. It is what it is. And if you're Tom Aspinall, you're gonna have to be patient, wait on that opportunity, and go in there and do everything you can to try to get a victory. Um, but yeah, he's gonna make you wait for a while, and that's exactly what you're gonna do. Is you're gonna have to sit around and just wait. But think about all these fights we got coming. Things are about to start ramping up, ladies and gentlemen, because you got lightweight, welterweight, middleweight, okay, light heavyweight, and heavyweight all coming from now till the end of the year. And that, Pereira and Ankalaev, right? So you got 5 major fights in from June 28th till December. I mean, it's already, they already know what they're doing. They're stacking this stuff up. You got 5 major fights coming, and there's going to be some other fillers in there, but, you know, it is what it is. If they started throwing too many on these cards in the summer, there wouldn't be much room in the fall. So they're getting ready for the fall, and it's going to be loaded up. I mean, during football season, UFC is going to be loaded up. It doesn't matter who's playing Saturday night. You're going to be watching Hamza versus Strikers, and the next time doesn't matter who's playing Saturday night, uh, and it's late night by this time, right? So you're going to flip over to John Jones versus Tom Aspinall. I mean, it's just going to happen. This is what the UFC needs: major headliners during football season, and this is the way this thing is stacking up. And I can't wait. I'm very excited. But listen, we wanted to get to that quickly. Hope you enjoyed. This your boy Chris Cross. Make sure you leave us some comments. Let us know what you think about the do list. It's open for suggestion. Right now, we got to make some changes. Um, like this video. Again, comment on this video. And if you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Until next time, I'm Chris Cross. Have a great day and God bless. As always, peace.